Give me the milk. Give me the milk.
Oh, look at him.
Attention everybody. So I'd like to take this opportunity and welcome you all at the show. And if the elephants are very close aligned where you are and you are having some good time with them, you're advised to remain more alert. And this is because some of the elephants might want to play the pushing game. In that process of pushing one another, they might end up landing on your feet. And smoking is not allowed within this zone. And communication with different groups of wild elephants. The relationship between our orphans and the wild elephants becomes a strong bond, which means our orphans will be invited and adopted in these groups of wild elephants. And once they all get adopted, they will be trained by the wild elephants on how to stay back into all other dangers out in the wild by the wild elephants. They'll also be warned against human beings by the wild elephants. And this means all the orphans that you can see here now at some point will have become as wild as any other elephant out there. This process of reintroducing them back to different characters and set out person to be left orphans. It also depends on their age when they become orphans. Was identified all along within the path, while at the age of about 1 month, which is not normal and also not safe. And this is not safe because an elephant at 1 month does not have any teeth to browse and greens. They entirely rely on the mother's milk. He did not have the mother to provide the milk, no protection, and so he could not have survived. So he was just very lucky to be found still alive at 1 month, and that's why we rescued him. Right now, approximately 3 years old. On my right, holding a branch in the mouth, an elephant by the name Mukoka, approximately almost 2 years old. And Mukoka was rescued from northern part of Savo East National Park, a place called Idumba. Identified by aerial surveillance and patrol who found the baby all alone within the park, observed him for some time, hoping for the mother to come back and collect the baby, but none existed, which meant that he was an orphan. And that is the reason why a decision was made to rescue him. Right now, approximately almost 3 years old. Behind Mukoka, next to the line on my right, is an elephant by the name Laro, the youngest girl that we've got in the nursery at the moment, approximately 1.5 years old. That's why she was left alone. Right now, approximately 2.5 years old. That makes a total of 6 elephants in the first group, and in a few minutes from now, all the 6 will walk away so that we can get in another group of 8, slightly older than this group that we've got now. generally different reasons, of course, for these babies to be left orphans, and human-wildlife conflict is one of the major reasons that has caused most of them to be left orphans. And human-wildlife conflict is a big problem in our country. This is a problem because there is always an increase in the population of man or human beings compared to the space or size of land. And this has caused human beings to occupy areas that belong to wild animals. And that is why areas where these animals have known originally to browse and look for food by people, migratory routes of wild animals no longer exist. They've been occupied by farmers. And people are doing farming, building structures, and doing lots of developments in these areas. And that is why if these animals want to migrate from one area to another, they will find it very difficult. And they will find it difficult because they will encounter the crops and the structures. And the owners of these crops and structures will want to fight the animals away. In that process of the fight, sometimes the mothers will end up being killed and the babies left alone. Sometimes the babies will be separated from the rest of the family members and left alone at an age where they would not have survived without the mother's milk, and also without protection against other dangers. And that is why, if identified, we are conducted and have to finally need to fix your minds and stop to buy things that are made from ivory or anything from the rhino horns. If we all did that, for those of you who are here today, we will have made a very big change in the lives of these animals. Once we don't have a market, once we don't need to continue killing the elephants because they don't think they're free to continue their own natural life. This is not necessarily on elephants and rhinos alone. It is with any other wild animals that have been found out there with any health problems. Once identified, we are conducted, and our mobile veterinary unit will either fly to the scene or drive to the scene to go and help treat the injured animals and immediately set them free to continue their own natural life. We also have this community project is based within Sava Conservation Area. They will go around the communities that are neighboring the park and the reserve, giving them education on how to coexist and stay peacefully neighboring one another with these wild animals. The same community project will also go around the schools that are neighboring these areas and giving education to the children. When the children are still young in school, they need to learn that all animals are important and where you don't get baby bees. And so that is how we managed to get funds to help raise these baby elephants. It does not matter which elephant the one picks to adopt. And this is because the money goes to all of them. So we insist that you pick on a name so that we can send you specific details of your particular elephant, general information about the others that we've got in the nursery. You can adopt an elephant to yourself. And if you do it as a gift, then it is a gift recipient that will receive the updates every month. But if you do it to yourself, then it's you that will receive the updates every month until after 1 year. We let you know so that you can decide if you want to renege again.
I'll do it.
You're very heavy. You want Daniel to hold you from it? You want me to hold? You want to go with Daniel? Yeah, please. Okay. Alright.
I want to be behind Daniel.
You want to be behind Daniel? Around my neck.
Come again?
What kind of milk is it?
What kind of milk is it? The milk you're feeding the elephants is not an elephant's milk. This is because it is not very easy to milk a wild elephant and get the real milk. At the same time, we cannot feed them on cow's milk, since cow's milk has been. So welcome again for second group, and these are the older elephants that we've got in the nursery. The oldest elephant here is approximately 4 years old. On my right, biggest in size, her name is Tagwa. She's approximately 4 years. She's any time from now ready to go back into the wild and start the process of reintroduction. She was rescued from Mount Kenya forest after she had been separated from her family by human beings. She was only 8 months old by then, right now approximately 4 years old. Behind Tagwa is second oldest, an elephant by the name Tamiwi, 3.5 years. And Tamiwi was rescued from Samburu.
Iko na